So here we are once again. This is a topic that a lot of people don't want to tackle, a lot of people don't want to get into, but I'm going to talk about it regardless. This has to do about the anime community. The anime community as a whole has drastically went down. It went like this and went straight down. And someone's going to say, okay, the anime community as a whole, is it truly a community? Well, to answer that question in the shortest term, no. It's not a community that's like welcoming, it's a community that's more inclusive. They just stick close to themselves. They tend to attack, they tend to slander, they tend to dox, they tend to harass certain content creators that point out flaws when it comes to certain shows that don't match up with the agenda that they're pushing when it comes to those shows. Everybody knows this one thing about the anime community and why it is stagnant. Why a channel like Forever World isn't growing. Why a channel like Chibi keeps on losing subscribers. Why a channel like Geekdom is just basically on and off when it comes to making videos. And it's simple. Toxic positivity. Your inability to actually critique, to actually criticize something. Because they view criticism as hate. Criticism is not hate. You can criticize anything. You can criticize me, you can criticize what I'm wearing, you can criticize anything. You're giving your feedback. You're giving a basic line, You basically might say, oh, the shades don't look good. Or the shirt I'm wearing is not that good. Or even the chain I'm having isn't that good. You're just making critiques. But what's with these anime channels is that they're incapable of actually making critiques. Forever World has been hyping shows for I don't know how long. Fire Force turns out to be trash. Dr. Stone turned out to be garbage. My Hero turned out to be average. Black Clover turned out to be absolute garbage. And so on and so on. And even Boruto turned out to be boring. But because they needed the views, they needed people to watch, they needed the sponsorships, they needed all these things, what you think that they did? They lied to you. 100% they lied. They've been doing it for years. And then all of a sudden, fast forward many years later, here we are in the big 2026. Chibi's still the same, Forever World is stagnant, and a bunch of other anime channels within this community has slowly been declining, just going like this. Just going down and down and down and down. And in all honesty, they have themselves to blame. Because instead of coming out of the gate just punching you straight in the face or hitting you straight in the gut with the truth, they would rather just lie. Yeah, they would rather lie because, in all honesty, why tell a person the truth? Why tell somebody that, hey, Dr. Stone, I don't think it's going to be all that good? Why not tell somebody that My Hero Academia actually peaked in the 3rd season? And in seasons 4 and season 5, a lot of people complained about it. And basically, the fan base was so toxic, so incredibly rapid. My word, especially when it comes to the shipping part of My Hero, that was completely abysmal. When it comes to Dragon Ball, it has not changed, it has not matured, it has not evolved. It is the same, it's just repetitive. Always about Goku and Vegeta. There's not really much there when it comes to Dragon Ball. And people still believe that Dragon Ball is, it's this amazing IP, it's so amazing, it's up here. No, not really. When it comes to Dragon Ball, it's top 50. That's where Dragon Ball is. Probably even less than that in Japan. Because I talked to Japanese people, in Japan, and they don't care about Dragon Ball anymore. That's how much it dropped off. Remember when Dragon Ball Daima was a thing? What did they do when it comes to Daima? They hyped Daima. They encourage the fan base to be like, oh, it is Toriyama's last work. You gotta show support for Toriyama's last work. You just gotta watch it. Man, I ain't gotta do shit. And you ain't gotta do shit. Because if that was the best that Toriyama could come up with, you already know where it belongs. It belongs in the trash. But because people put this man on such a high pedestal, yes, He created Dragon Ball. Yes, he created Dragon Ball Z. But when you look at Daima, that's like a regression, not a progression. Okay? And that's why Daima sucked. Nobody watched it. Chibi, he tried to milk it for what it's worth and only did one episode. One episode, and it was the very first one. He put on the theatrics, he put on the waterworks. You know, trying to hype, trying to get all that stuff like he always does. And the end result, when it comes to the views, not much. Only 33,000. All of that for 33,000 views. And he dropped it right there. Didn't review a single episode afterwards. So my message to the anime community is this. To every single AniTuber, the days of hype is done. Stop. Hype is not necessary anymore. Just stop it. The days of telling lies are over. Be honest with your fan base. Be honest with yourself. Okay? And most importantly, the days of you guys being shallow needs to be put to an end. Okay? Have some balls. Tell your fans what they actually need to hear.